Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. So, I'm not going to say I've been waiting with bated breath or anything, but this is a movie where I have been kind of interested about what this is going to be. So, uh, been kind of wondering when they were going to drop the trailer so we can get a good look at it. Craven the Hunter. Okay. So, yet another movie in our Spider-Man list, Spider-Verse. We have, for those who may not be familiar with the character or his relation to, as I said, Spider-Man, he is one of Spider-Man's rogues gallery. Like I said, he comic-wise, cartoon-wise, they've changed a little bit, and from what I've heard, this movie adaptation is going to be a very big difference in his origin. But he was a literal big game hunter. Hunts big cats, rhinos, elephants. That type of thing. And he wanted for his greatest challenge, to hunt the greatest prey there is, man. Of course, a prey which thinks and everything, and then of course with all the things that OG Spider-Man thought to be a menace, or he might behind this or that or whatever. Craven, as there's been a long history of Craven hunting Spider-Man. One of the most famous stories is called Craven's Last Hunt, where he buried Spider-Man alive. And of course, I've had many confrontations here and there. And for those who know of the character, as you will see here, in Spider-Man No Way Home, near the end. Again, spoiler for if you haven't seen No Way Home, it's been out for a while. So when the multiverse is threatening to intrude all of, those who know Spider-Man's identity and everything, intrude into the 616 by MCU standards, or Universe 1999 by Across the Spider-Verse standards. Craven was one of the figures. You see hulking man with looks like a spear, yada yada yada. Anyways, so we've had, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit before we watch this, so bear with me. For Sony's universe, because again, all Spider-Man movies are owned by Sony. The last three we've had, live action ones we've had with Tom Holland, are Sony movies. They just happen to be produced with Marvel, and hence in the MCU. So anyways, as far as Sony's history with Spider-Man in itself, of course, we got Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 for Raimi. Spider-Man 1, good movie, great movie for its time. Spider-Man 2, still, even though some say it's dated, still thought to be one of the best superhero movies and Spider-Man movies there are. Spider-Man 3, we won't go there. Then, there's The Amazing Spider-Man, interesting reboot. It was okay. Amazing Spider-Man 2, we're not going there. And then, of course, we have the MCU Tom Holland movies, Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, which are, overall all great, good to great, depending, subjective how you feel. But I don't think I've heard many people who hate them. But anyways, so, the Spider-Man movies in general have been pretty good. And of course, then there are the animated Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, which are amazing. So in general, Spider-Man, they've got a great batting average as far as what Sony's done. Now, Spider-Man related, that's another matter, because, we have Venom, which, for a long time they were talking about, and this was kind of still during the Amazing Spider-Man, will it continue or reboot, whatever franchise before Marvel got it, a Silver and Black Cat and Silver Sable, but of course that never happened. But we had Venom, which I've enjoyed Venom. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which, You know, I mean, I have it because I'm, you know, kind of a completionist. And, you know, I actually just rewatched it the other day and I think I fell asleep during it. But again, I think I was just tired. But I mean, to me, Let There Be Carnage had a lot to be desired. I mean, I was hoping for like true carnage, you know, but anyways, that is what it is. And the only other Spider Man adjacent movie we've had so far is Morbius, which again did not live up to the potential, and there are some aspects of it is like what are you doing? But anyways, um so that all being said, uh they're non Spider-Man movies. Pretty much you could say one for three. You know, or maybe if you're being generous, 1.5, 1 and a third to or no, one in, you know, 2/3 to three, you know, as far as good quality. Like I said, like Carnage, I had a lot of problems with Carnage. And Morbius, I thought it was an interesting premise, interesting beginning. You know, the first half of it was interesting, but then it just kind of so anyways, that being said, been kind of trepidations about what they're doing for KRAVEN. Again, this whole turning his villains into kind of anti-heroes, it sounds like, or whatnot. So anyways, that all being said, I'm sorry for having bored you. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer for KRAVEN the Hunter, because we still have Madam Web coming, so which is filming also now, I believe. So, you know, what's that going to be like? But here we go. I do love Aaron Taylor Johnson.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey.
Sergei Kravenov.
We are predators.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Russell Crowe was his father.
Boys, your mother is dead. She died because you sent her away. She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes? Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot. Shoot. He is weak, like his mother. Leave him.
What happened that day?
Okay.
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
Okay, so no accent. Well, I mean, he's British, so an accent, but...
They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
There's 6 of us, there's only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Why do you hunt?
My father puts evil into the world. I take it out.
Okay.
You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
We're murderers. Isn't that what he taught us?
You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Mr. Taglin. Mr. Taglin. Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Oh, okay. 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 I'm just trying to piece together my thoughts. First of all, the whole, from what it looks like, okay, there was this, lion. His father was like, you should kill it. He didn't. The lion bit him, started tearing or whatever, and then the lion's blood also got into him. So that gave him abilities, it looks like, to be able to communicate with other animals or with animals. I mean, we are animals, so with other animals as he uses it in his hunt, where the way it seems, okay, his father was evil, and so now he's got a revenge list, kind of like a la CW's Arrow, Green Arrow. You have failed this continent. um, and of course, the tagline: "Villains aren't born; they're made." So, I mean, I guess that right there is telling us it's not. This isn't going to be, I guess, a case of like Morbius as an anti-hero, because I mean, when all said and done, I mean, as far as the comic character, Morbius is an anti-hero. He, through the experimentation, he turned himself into this vampire. He had his, obviously has to deal with his thirst and all that. But, I think more often than not, he has tried to be a hero. KRAVEN, not so much. I mean, as far as comic-wise canon. So I guess there, by just going by the way this trailer is in itself, you would make it think he's, they're going the anti-hero route, but you have the tagline again: villains aren't born, they're made. So I don't know if that's just saying his father made him kind of a villain as he's trying to find retribution, against the evils his father brought into the world, as it says. Or in the, well, there's the other line, I guess I think it was his brother was like, you're as bad as father. So in his pursuit of justice, he has become a villain, and that's what we're going to see through this movie. It's just, I don't know quite what to make of it, to be honest. I mean, okay, yeah, there's a lot of action, obviously. I mean, some of the things look kind of odd to me. Again, the whole, how, I guess, yeah, he got lion's blood in him. Maybe it was a radioactive lion or a genetically altered lion. I don't know. Or I guess the spirit, the essence of the lion. So like Spider-Man in, comic canon, or a lot of Spider-Men and women have been referred to as spider totems. Maybe he's now a lion totem. Or whatnot. Yeah, so it's, again, I don't know quite what to make of that, because I had thought maybe somehow they were going to actually do this, as he is a human being, a peak human being, from training and whatever and whatnot for the hunts and whatnot, and it's just him against whatever. Now, again, in like the Spider-Man, the 90s cartoon, and I'm not sure, I think maybe in the comics at some points, there have been some elements where he has gotten heightened powers, heightened senses, or whatever. But, and if any of you know, because I've known of KRAVEN as a character for a long time, but my little brother, may he rest in peace, was more of the Spider-Man fan growing up, and he has, all the comics and whatnot. I became more of a Spider-Man fan than I have a lot, but not many that have KRAVEN, or, the old KRAVEN stories. So I may have to do that at some point, look through me and my brother's comic collection and see if, there are some KRAVEN stories. But anyways, or just do even a wiki search to see if there was a point where he did get more powers or whatnot. I'm kind of feeling there was, but I might not be, but anyways. So yeah, all in itself, it's interesting. As far as the whole being rated R, um, I guess again because of the nature of this, where he is truly a hunter of men, instead of a game hunter. Even though he does have the lion mane and all that. So yeah, I guess for that effect, that's why they did it. I don't know. Whereas, I mean, why they decided to do this R and they didn't make Let There Be Carnage R, which would have let it. I mean, they could have given us actual Carnage. I don't know, but anyways, um, hmm, yeah, I guess I'll just have to watch it again. Of course, I'll watch some other reactions and kind of get my thoughts about this. Maybe another trailer will give me something more. I mean, it's coming in October, so I mean, I will be going to see this because, again, as a Spider-Man character or a character, Spider-Man adjacent, being brought to life, I am curious to see what they do, just as when I went to see Morbius. And again, like I said, I enjoyed Morbius for the most part when I saw it. Again, there are just some things that were kind of like, Um, so yeah, will KRAVEN be more of a Morbius or more of a Venom? And then, based on after that, I guess then maybe I'll know if I have trepidation for Madam Web, or I'll be more excited to see what they do for it. Because, like I said, just looking at this trailer, I don't know. Okay, then the last thing, the whole let me show you why they call, or bet you wonder why they call me Rhino, and it looks like I guess he's mutating, morphing into a rhino. I don't know if it's going to be a rhino person or he actually changes to a rhino. I mean, more like, in the comics, the rhino thing was a suit. In other iterations, he's been, genetically altered and all that stuff. But, historically, it was a suit. And then in Amazing Spider-Man, we had that terrible Paul Giamatti thing as I forget what his last name is. I believe Rhino's first name is Alexi, and I forget what the last part is. But yeah, that old big Rhino suit thing, and it's just, which again could have been something interesting if that movie had been done a lot different. But yeah, so yeah, I have a lot of question marks for this. Like I need I need to just go back and watch through this. I'm not going to subject y'all to that. But yeah, and then just kind of see how I feel about it. But I mean, I will be going to see it in October, so there's that. And yeah, like I said, I don't know if this Sony Spider-Man adjacent universe, we are going to actually see some more crossover down the line. I mean, of course, the hope would be, I mean, are we going to get a Spider-Man in these movies at some point? Be it somehow Tom Holland, be it, now that we've had him back, Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, which is probably less likely. But, like I said, in Morbius, they had some mentions of Venom, or allusions to Venom. So, well, I mean, he said, I am Venom, So, is that, again, they're supposed to be actually part of the same universe? And will this be part of that? Or I guess just separate things within the multiverse, and then we have something else later. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. So, anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble on, and of course be a comic book nerd and, geek out about some of this stuff and express my confusion watching this trailer. That's my reaction, my thoughts. Many thoughts. As always, feel free to share, subscribe, hopefully give me a like if you like my content. And if you do, please hit that little notification button if you subscribe, so you'll know when I do drop something. Because, again, it could be anytime. Who knows? And like I said, as always, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the trailer for KRAVEN the Hunter. The Spider-Man adjacent universe, if you've watched any of the other movies, which, I mean, if you're looking at this, I'm guessing you have. Or like I said, just anything in general, suggestions for me to look at. something else you want to hear me rant on about, as I've just ranted on about this for where are we at now? How many minutes am I at? Oh goodness, 20 minutes. I am so sorry. But as always, thanks for watching. Peace.